Welcome back. You are tuned to France 24, and right now it's time for a business update. Matthew Warren's with me in the studio for that. Hi again, Matthew.
Hi, Catherine.
Okay, top story. It was expected, but it's finally here, a rate cut from Europe's central bank.
That's right, a rate cut of 25 basis points or 0.25% from 0.75% to 0.5% by the central bank. Now, as you say, it's been widely expected, and it was the first cut in 10 months designed to help boost the struggling European economy. But will it have an impact where it's really needed? Joseph Tandy has this report.
For economists, the announcement had long been expected. The European Central Bank cutting its benchmark interest rate from 0.75% to 0.5%. The move designed to encourage lending as eurozone countries struggle to put the crisis behind them.
The decision we've taken today takes into account evidence. As I said, we look at the data, we monitor closely, and we stand ready to act when needed.
Data released this week has once more revealed the fragile state of eurozone economies. Manufacturing's down, inflation's weaker than governments would like, and unemployment across the regions reached a record 12.1%. Even after the ECB's rate cut, economists fear the drop in borrowing costs won't filter through to businesses and consumers in the eurozone's worst-hit areas.
For the periphery, for countries such as Italy and Spain, where the banking industry is not in the best of shape, where in any case there's an entrenched preference for deleveraging now for businesses and households, I'm afraid that the impact will be close to nothing.
On Thursday, European markets saw only small rises on news of the rate cut. As for the ECB, bosses say the eurozone should begin a fully fledged recovery in the second half of this year.
And Matthew, even some of those in the ECB themselves aren't really sure about the impact the cut's going to have.
No, that's right. One of the two German members of the executive board, Jörg Asmussen, is believed to have voted against this move, and he gave the reasons why he might have done that in a speech in London a short while ago. He said, as we heard in that report, really, that he thought the pass-through of the rate cuts to the periphery, which is really where it's needed, of course, would be limited. So views rather divided on how effective this cut is going to be.
OK, well, we'll see how it works out. But so far, how are the markets reacting to
Well,
these?
they seemed pretty encouraged that something was happening there. US markets are also encouraged by some better news on fresh unemployment benefit applications, which fell to a 5-year low. And the markets ended the day there up, as you can see, all around 1%. And in Asia, the final trading session of the week has been largely positive as well. The Shanghai Composite up 1.9%. The Nikkei in Japan, that's closed for a public holiday.
OK, well, I hope they have a lovely day off. But meanwhile, US jobless figures, you mentioned them there. That report is eagerly awaited for later today.
Yes, that's right. That's lots of people wondering what's going to happen, because in March there was disappointment at the figures. Just 88,000 jobs added in March. That sounds a lot, but the context is the US needs to be adding about 200,000 jobs every month if it wants to get its unemployment rate down to around 6%. It's currently 7.6%. So investors will want to see whether the March low figure was a blip or whether it's part of a worrying trend. The expectation seems to be the figure will be around 140,000 jobs added, but you never quite know, so we'll be keeping an eye on what happens with that later.
Yeah, and we will be bringing it to you, of course, here on France 24. But meanwhile, here is some of the day's company news. General Motors said weaknesses in Europe and North America dented their profits. America's biggest car maker was giving its results for the first 3 months of the year. It said profits were down 14% to $865 million, but that was actually better than expected, and shares rose 3% by the end of trading.
But profits also down at the French bank BNP Paribas. The biggest bank in the country said earnings slid by 45% as revenue dropped at its investment banking operations. But that figure was higher than expected. The banks embarked on a plan to cut €2 billion in costs by 2015.
The professional networking site LinkedIn reported revenues up by 3/4. It now has 225 million members worldwide. LinkedIn's share price has soared since it floated 2 years ago. It's gone from $45 then to $201 at Thursday's close. Now, as well as cutting the interest rates, Europe Central Bank had something rather more fun to do. They issued a new series of banknotes on Thursday, didn't they?
That's right. New banknotes are out. No major changes to them, and the colours will broadly stay the same, so we won't all get totally confused. But it's the €5 note that's first to change. It features both the new design as well as some enhanced security features. William Hildebrand has been taking a look.
Inside these walls, more than 2.5 billion portraits of the ancient Greek goddess Europa, each on the new €5 note being made inside this mint in Auvergne, France.
The goal was to put in new features to make it even harder to counterfeit than before.
On top the old note and beneath the new one, the small changes are more noticeable this way. Same size and shape, but the new one is greener with security features like watermarks and holograms and raised printing, making it easier for officials and citizens to detect counterfeits.
Very nice. Its pictures very nice, and €5, very nice.
There are already 900 tons of the former €5 note in circulation, so it will take several years before it's replaced. Much of the circulation will be done through daily transactions, such as with your local baker.
When we're giving out change, it's true people would prefer getting a €5 note instead of 5 coins.
In the coming years, a €10 note will also be updated, as will every other denomination in ascending order.
Now, something we all face, office irritations. You've been finding out what most annoys people in the workplace.
That's right. Now, this isn't a survey of our colleagues here at France 24. It's a survey
have some interesting responses
of office workers in the UK by the Institute of Leadership and Management. These are the top things that annoy people about their workplace. And top of the list is actually arriving late, very rude. And second on the list is dirty plates.
That is something that people do complain
I think that's
about in the
something here
newsroom.
that people
taking
get
the trays
upset
back
about.
to the canteen.
Third interesting is gossip, which I think is kind of one of the fun parts of
Have they asked people in France whether that's irritating or not?
So there you go.
All right, moving very swiftly on. The so-called Sage of Omaha has joined Twitter.
Yes, Sage of Omaha, Warren Buffett, has joined Twitter. Now, he's seen as a business guru. He's the owner, of course, and founder of Berkshire Hathaway, very successful investment fund. There he is. Well, he joined on Thursday. Just a few hours, he had over 200,000 followers. And, well, I suppose they're all hoping for a bit of investment advice from him. There's his page. He's only sent 2 tweets so far. The first one was Warren is in the house. And interestingly, of course, he's he's a very independent thinker, and he's not following anybody at all yet. True
we'll
to
wait
form.
and see. I'm sure he will be following you very soon, Matthew. That's Matthew Warren there from our business desk with the latest news. Stay tuned to France 24. Get the headlines coming up very soon.